It has been 50 years since unarmed marchers from Selma, Alabama set out in defiance of repression in 1965 to demonstrate for African Americans' constitutional rights. State troopers attacked them. When Alabama's governor refused to protect the marchers, President Johnson ordered the U.S. Army, National Guard, FBI, and Federal Marshals to do so. At that time, 100 years after the abolition of slavery throughout the United States, citizens' rights were still not universally upheld. Martin Luther King Jr. had led the March on Washington in 1963 and delivered his historic I Have a Dream speech to end racial discrimination. It led to the Voting Rights Act of 1965. The struggle was far from over. Peaceful protest and civil disobedience were joined by militantism, and unrest developed into violence. The 1967 beating and death of a cab driver in Newark, New Jersey, rumored to be at the hands of the police, sparked deadly riots in most major cities. King's assassination the following year brought more riots. Tensions stayed. After 4 officers in Miami were acquitted of the death from injuries of an African American in 1980, more were killed in rioting. Fast forward to 1992 and the 6-day Los Angeles riots, when 4 white officers were filmed beating motorist Rodney King and were acquitted. In 2008, Barack Obama was elected the first mixed-race U.S. president. Many wondered how he would exercise his powers. The Yes We Can campaign had ignited a new optimism that minority fortunes were about to change. However, in 2012, 17-year-old Trayvon Martin was shot dead by a neighborhood watch volunteer in Sanford, Florida. His killer claimed self-defense and was acquitted of second-degree murder. It opened a national debate about racial profiling and self-defense laws. The black community remained skeptical about whether real change was taking place. Further alarm was raised in July last year when Eric Garner died in New York City after a police officer put him in a chokehold, and then in Ferguson, Missouri in August when the fatal shooting of unarmed Michael Brown by a white police officer sparked mass protests and civil disorder.